Jungletrooper is a user who found himself deeply entangled in the world of options trading, sinking further and further into it. Like many on the WallStreetBets subreddit, he wasn't just looking to make a few bucks, he was swinging for the fences. Determined to achieve his goal, he decided to stay firm on the path of options trading. It all started with a bad Wi-Fi connection. Jungletrooper was holding an Nvidia put option, planning to close it before the market shut. But right when he needed to execute his trade, his internet cut out. By the time he got back online, the market had already closed, and he was stuck holding the position overnight. The next morning, things went south fast. Nvidia opened strong, and his put option tanked, depleting his portfolio. However, instead of cutting his losses, he decided to double down. He sold off his other positions, including long-term plays, and went all in on high-risk zero-day expirations. He admitted to ignoring every single rule of trading. His new positions didn't yield out either. The losses piled up, but he couldn't stop. He kept chasing, convinced that one big win would turn it all around. By the time the dust settled, he had lost almost $40,000. With nothing left to trade, he closed his account. For good measure, he took the last few dollars in his account and spent them on Powerball tickets, calling it a clean sweep wipeout. But instead of drowning in regret, Jungletrooper took a step back to reflect. For the first time in months, he wasn't obsessing over the market. No more waking up early, holding options overnight, or compulsively checking stock boards. Jungletrooper also opened up about how this experience made him confront a deeper issue: his gambling addiction. "I did neglect things to focus on trading, and like everyone else, I was greedy and wanted to get rich quick." Before signing off, he left the subreddit with some hard-earned advice. Don't chase your losses, stick to your plan. Take breaks, and remember, trading options is gambling. His final message was a stark reminder of the harsh realities of the situation. You can complain all you want, but there is nothing you can do about it. You chose to play their game, and it's rigged against you. Can't complain about it if you knowingly participate. For every winner, there are two losers. Your winnings didn't come artificially in a vacuum. Someone has to lose for your gains, so be careful who you rub it into. Aranan is a user whose WallStreetBets journey taught him some of the harshest lessons the market has to offer. His story starts during the infamous GameStop squeeze. Back when meme stocks were all the rage and everyone was convinced they were about to outsmart Wall Street, Aranan thought he had cracked the code, but what followed was a roller coaster of hope, despair, and some very expensive lessons. It all began when GME hit $40, and Aranan was convinced it was overpriced. Like any bold trader, he threw $10,000 into 3-month puts, betting the stock would drop back to its real value. For a brief moment, things seemed to go his way. Implied volatility shot up, and his position started gaining value. But instead of locking in those gains, he decided to hold. After all, how could GME not drop to $4 in a couple of months? Well, it didn't. As GME kept climbing and his puts drained out, he faced his first big decision. Cut his losses and walk away with $5,000, or double down and try to make it all back. Well, this is WallStreetBets, and you already know what he did. He rolled his position into a bigger one, throwing $50,000 into new puts, convinced the crash was just around the corner. It wasn't. GME exploded back into the $200, and his $50,000 evaporated like a snowball in hell. At this point, most people would have tapped out, but not Aranan. Nope, he went all in. He scraped together more funds, rolling his position into an even bigger bet, sinking $100,000 into what he was sure would be the trade that turned everything around. Let's just say it didn't. As GME kept defying gravity, his $100,000 trade turned into a $100,000 loss. The financial hit was devastating, but the emotional toll was even worse. Sleepless nights, panic attacks, and chest pains became his new normal. When he finally closed his position, the weight of it all hit him like a truck. He broke down in tears, overwhelmed by the reality of what had happened. For Aranan, this wasn't YOLO money. This was hard-earned cash, a big chunk of his savings gone in a flash. The experience left him questioning everything, from his trading strategy to his own decision-making. 7 months later, Aranan came back to share his story, not as a trader, but as someone who learned a painful yet valuable lesson. He swore off options trading for good and started the slow process of rebuilding, both financially and emotionally. To top it all off, Fidelity Investments even sent him a letter, reminding him of just how badly things went. That's a wrap, folks. I hope you enjoyed the destructive trades of Wall Street Bets. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe.